Have you ever thought about what angels really look like? We often imagine them as serene, winged beings in flowing robes, but the Bible contains descriptions of far more extraordinary and mysterious entities. Among the most intriguing are the Ophanim, celestial beings that challenge every conventional image of angels. Described as wheels within wheels, covered in eyes and radiating divine energy, the Ophanim are truly the strangest angels in the Bible. Their presence in the scriptures raises fascinating questions. What do they represent? Why are they depicted so differently? And what role do they play in the heavenly hierarchy? Welcome to Divine Documentaries. Today we're diving deep into the biblical texts to uncover the Ophanim. We'll explore their descriptions, decode their symbolism, and delve into the interpretations that still intrigue scholars and theologians for centuries. Prepare to be amazed as we reveal the story of these enigmatic beings that defy imagination and redefine our understanding of the divine. So if you're ready to venture into the mysteries of the Bible and discover the strangest angels ever described, keep watching. This is the story of the Ophanim, the celestial wheels full of eyes. Chapter 1, Introduction to the Ophanim. The Bible is full of fascinating and mysterious entities, and among them various angels, each that have unique roles and even appearances. In our previous video, we introduced the archangels and the different powers they wield. Most of us are familiar with the typical portrayal of angels as peaceful, winged human-looking beings in flowing robes. However, looking closer at biblical texts introduces us to far more mysterious figures. Among these are the Ophanim, often referred to as the wheels or thrones. They aren't just symbols, but play a significant role in heaven's hierarchy and the execution of God's will. The word Ophanim comes from the Hebrew word for wheels, which is a fitting name given to how Ezekiel described them. Unlike the more familiar Cherubim or Seraphim angels in contemporary art, the Ophanim are described as interlocking wheels full of eyes, beaming an aura of divine power and mystery. This sets them apart as some of the most intriguing figures in biblical times. Ezekiel the prophet provides the most vivid description of the Ophanim from his visions. In Ezekiel chapter 1 verses 15 to 21, he describes a vision where he sees 4 living creatures, each accompanied by a wheel intersecting another wheel beside them. The rims of these wheels are full of eyes all around, and they move in perfect harmony with the creatures without turning as they move. This striking imagery is both awe-inspiring and perplexing, challenging our conventional understanding of what angels are supposed to look like. When they moved in any of the 4 directions without turning as they moved. Their rims were tall and awesome, and the rims of all 4 were full of eyes all around. This passage has puzzled and fascinated scholars and theologians for centuries. The wheels' movement without turning and their multitude of eyes suggest angels who have immense power and omniscience, embodying as a physical manifestation of divine attributes. The Ophanim's description leaves us with questions. What do the wheels represent? Why are they covered in eyes? And what is their significance in the broader sense of the biblical narrative? In this video, we'll delve into the scriptures to uncover the secrets of the Ophanim, detailed descriptions, decode their symbolism, and examine the various interpretations that have been proposed over the centuries. Chapter 2, Decoding Ezekiel's Vision. The Bible's filled with vivid but often mysterious descriptions of celestial beings, and one of the most mysterious accounts comes from the prophet Ezekiel. In his visions, Ezekiel was able to have a surreal and awe-inspiring encounter with the Ophanim. What he described was one of the most detailed and puzzling accounts of them. The most significant reference to the Ophanim is found in the book of Ezekiel, specifically in Ezekiel chapter 1 verses 15 to 21. Ezekiel, a priest and a prophet, had his vision by the Kebar River among the exiles in Babylon. They sparkled like topaz, and all 4 looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheels did not change direction as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all 4 rims were full of eyes all around. Ezekiel continues describing his vision, where he saw the design and movement of these wheels, emphasizing how they were heavenly. He told of the wheels moving in every direction without turning, which theological scholars have debated as having the ability to navigate time and space with divine fluidity. The wheels had rims that were described as tall and awesome and housed with eyes all around, which is defined as the all-seeing, all-knowing presence. When the living creatures moved, the wheels beside them moved, and when the living creatures rose from the ground, the wheels also rose. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go, and the wheels would rise along with them because the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Ezekiel describing the eyes on the rims of the wheels is significant and points to the common symbolism that takes place in the Bible when we see eyes. They represent knowledge, divine insight, and awareness. The Ophanim, being completely covered in eyes, suggests that they are capable of the omniscience of God's visions and understanding. This imagery we have conveys that nothing is hidden from the divine gaze. These wheels within wheels, accompanied with all-seeing eyes, remain interpreted in various ways by scholars throughout history. Some scholars see them as representations of God's chariot, while others view them as guardians of the divine throne. Beyond Ezekiel, angels are referenced sparsely throughout the text, but are no less significant. Mentioned in the writings of Paul, they seem to live up to the meaning of their name, messenger, appearing to deliver messages when needed the most. Perhaps the Ophanim showed themselves to Ezekiel for him to go forth and talk about the omniscience and omnipresence of God. Chapter 3: Deciphering the Symbolism of the Mysterious Ophanim. To fully grasp the significance of the Ophanim, we must look deeper into the symbolism of their appearance and their messages. The most striking feature that the Ophanim have is their wheels within wheels, a unique and otherworldly design that's fascinated scholars for centuries. This structure and unique design symbolizes complexity and interconnection. When it's looked at in biblical terms, it represents the versatile nature within divine wisdom and the intricacy of God's creation. The wheels' ability to move in any direction without turning signifies divine omnipresence and omnipotence. God's influence and presence aren't restricted by the physical laws of human nature. The abundance of eyes on the rims of the wheels is also symbolism. In many ancient cultures, eyes represent knowledge, vigilance, and divine insight. The eyes on the Ophanim signify God's all-seeing nature, his omniscience. Nothing escapes his notice, and his awareness spans all of creation. This imagery reminds us of the idea that the divine is both watchful and aware, overseeing everything with perfect clarity. The wheels correspond to the divine chariot, that is, the Merkabah. In depictions from old Near Eastern sources, for example, the gods are often shown riding chariots across the heavens. Most fitting is the representation of the Ophanim in accord with the Jewish mystical concept of Merkabah or divine chariot. In Christian theology, some people relate the Ophanim to the thrones mentioned in the New Testament, especially in the writings of Paul. These thrones belong to the angelic order and are viewed as mediums of God's justice and sovereignty. The relation to the thrones emphasizes their function in the maintenance of divine order and the execution of judgments. Chapter 4: Conclusion. Looking at the Ophanim, we can feel and see the divine wisdom and limitless presence. With a form so complex and amazing, it symbolizes the interconnectedness of the universe under his eye. Just like the Ophanim, we can wheel ourselves in any direction directed by the divine spirit, finding a way through the complications of life in faith and trust to higher wisdom. Let the Ophanim inspire you to see beyond the ordinary, find understanding in the mysteries in the Bible, and open your eyes to find the breathtaking beauty. Let their form remind you that even in complex and baffling ways, everything in life is orchestrated and purposed by something greater. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep remembering that the journey through faith and discovery is as boundless and wondrous as the wheels within wheels. Chapter 5: Outro. Thank you for joining us in this exploration into the Ophanim, the mysterious angels in the Bible. If you enjoyed learning about the Ophanim, make sure to subscribe for more divine documentaries and biblical explorations. Leave a comment with your thoughts on these incredible angels, and don't forget to share this video with your friends.